Solstice just dropped one of the best airdrop opportunities in crypto right now, with 8% of the total supply going to people who earn flares on their platform. Now, over the past week, I have rocketed up the leaderboard up into the top 1% in the entire platform by doing some simple strategies on this yield. So, I'm going to explain how to do that within this video. And honestly, I'm expecting about a 4 to 5 figure airdrop from this one alone. GTG and myself have been farming plenty of these DeFi protocols, hopefully unlocking some potential airdrops while crypto markets really chop around in the short term. So let's dive into these strategies and see whether we can start positioning ourselves for this huge upside opportunity before the rumored launch of this token on the 21st of December. So to get started, guys, you're going to head to this website, Solstice.Finance. Now, you're going to need to have stables on chain initially so that you can get started in this ecosystem. And I recommend USDC. And just a reminder, this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only, not financial advice. Now, I use obviously OKX, which you can sign up down below, the safest exchange in crypto, or I use Bybit to send my money on chain from this centralized exchange to my Phantom wallet. And yes, you will need a Phantom wallet on Solana to connect to Solstice because it is on the Solana network. Now, once you obviously withdraw your money from OKX or Bybit or somewhere else to your Phantom wallet, you'll then be able to connect to the Solstice website via launching the dApp. So as you can see here, a little bit of a brief about what it's about. But as you can see, they have your assets, your yield, no compromises. So basically, it's a DeFi protocol on Solana, a fully collateralized synthetic stablecoin pegged to the US dollar. And we actually saw during the 10th of the 10th liquidation event, this stablecoin held up very, very well. And the liquidity held up very, very well. Now, obviously, you can read through a lot. They have all their docs on the platform. You can read through the website here. But currently, there is over $273 million in TVL, total value locked. And if we dive in, we're going to talk about how you can actually get started. Now, I've written up a little bit of a post here. I'll drop the link in the description. It has a simple written tutorial of some of the codes that you need to unlock some extra flare bonuses. So basically, the two main ones that you need is the Raydium and the Orca for 1.3 flare boost. And I'll show you where to do that shortly. And then you get a $1,000 bonus if you actually enter my code, which is BJZU3K. VK1X, and you get a 1,000 flare bonus when you sign up to the platform. So once you obviously launch the dApp in the top right corner, you come over and it'll be on the get started page, probably like this. And as you can see, the click yield is at 2.87%. Now, this is the one that we're not actually going to be focusing on in this video. If your goal is to accumulate more flares on the platform and thus potentially more of an airdrop later this year. Now, the DeFi obviously is how you can do some more on-chain protocols within the Solstice ecosystem, which again is a little bit more risky, right? Okay, because you don't know exactly where it's pegged to. So as always, do your own research, guys. Anything on-chain, anything DeFi related, all these protocols are risky. So make sure you know where you're putting your money before you actually click any buttons. Now, you're going to swap into their token, which is USX or eUSX. And I'll show you how you do that. But over on the side, it's very simple. Okay, you connect your Phantom wallet. As you can see, I've got 111 USDC, which I've sent obviously from OKX or my Bybit account. Send it over and I could easily swap it into the USX stablecoin on the platform. Now, the same again, okay, you can swap USDT if you want to send USDT over as well. Just depends what you want to be doing. Now, the alternative is obviously if you have USDC and you're looking to get into the the eUSX token, which is the yield-bearing token, which we'll talk about shortly as well, you need to lock it in the yield vault itself. So if I click that, it's going to take you to the platform, and this is where you lock in the USX and change it into the eUSX to farm some of the Flare Protocol DeFi, returning a 2.9 APY, as you can see down the bottom here. But more on that a little bit later. So once you obviously click on the left, it has the Get Started page. It's then going to have a dashboard, okay? So this is just going to show you your current net value. So as you can see, I've got 251 US dollars in USX, and I've got weekly earnings of 0.13 USX per week. Now, as you can see, I've got $400 of USX elsewhere. I've also got $248 of eUSX, and SLX is hopefully coming soon. And that's what we're talking about in this video. Some of the strategies to earn flares, which is their point system, to hopefully unlock a potential 4 to 5 figure airdrop, as I said before. But you can check all the stats here. You can see what the current price is of the stablecoin. Check all the yield, volt, Sharp ratio, and the current swap ratio as well as the APY of this specific one. Now, the flares is the important part, guys. So obviously, once you've deposited some money onto the platform, this is where you're going to enter those codes that I showed you earlier. Now, one thing to note here is, as you can see on the top right corner, I have $1.119 million flares, not million dollars, but flares on this platform. And I'm currently nearly just shy of 0.01 total amount of flares. Now, my goal is actually to get to 0.01, and I'm currently at about 0.008% of the supply. And that actually puts me at about the top 1% in the entire ecosystem. And as you can see, you start to yield trading. I've earned 794 flares. Referrals, which you will get down below 300K. Liquidity, I've got 14,000 flares as well. And there's other ways as well. So eUSX, so that's the stablecoin just by holding it on the platform. USX, I've earned 7,000 flares from holding USX on the platform. And money markets is something that I have not dabbled in just yet. But each time we tick off a TVL target, something unlocks on the platform. And if we do get to $1 billion of TVL, there will be a burn. So that is a very bullish catalyst if we can get there before the rumored date of December 21st. So if we have a look, the latest campaign, which was just ticked off on 250 mil, was actually an increase in the supply given to the people who are earning flares. So that's pretty bullish. And again, a reason why I'm spending so much time within this ecosystem. But also, it's such a passive way to go about it. Particularly, as I said before, when the market is just so choppy right now and not really a trader's paradise, when there's a lack of liquidity, a lack of options, a lack of trends, and very much so a lack of volume on chain. Let's dive deeper. So when you get started, guys, you're going to connect your Phantom wallet here. I haven't connected my X account just purely for safety, but you can do that. You can also tweet out about it and more on that later, because if you are a Zeta over on Abstract, you can start earning some potential upside as well. But again, I'll keep that for the end of the video. If you come and have a look, you can obviously have partner code. Now, this partner code here is where you enter those two words I said earlier in the tweet. And I'll put the tweet down below. You need to enter Raydium and Orca, and that'll give you some boosts on the platform to enter these partner codes. And as you can see, I've got 2 and 1.3. You guys can see that. I'll zoom in a little bit more so it's easier. There you go. So 1.3x multiplier for flares. So that means for every one flare you're earning, you're actually earning 1.3x more than someone who hasn't entered those two codes. The second point, okay? Down below. So you must hold, obviously, the token. So if you hold it just in general, you start earning flares. As you can see, I'm earning 2,000 daily flares. And then obviously you need to do some swaps. So the first swap that you do, you get an 800 flare one-off. So that automatically puts you above the people who have just connected their wallet and not got any money on the platform. Again, if you hold USX for longer than a month, you start to earn a 6x multiplier. You hold eUSX for longer than 3 months, you start to get a 10x multiplier. I currently do hold eUSX, so again, it is a little bit glitchy, so sometimes it does mess up. I have done my first yield vault trade, which was this one over here that I showed you before, and more on that later. And you do earn 1,000 flares from that as well. Liquidity pools we'll touch on later in the video, because that is a fast way to run up some multipliers, whether you are an Orca fan on Solana or whether you're a Raydium fan like me over on Solana as well. And then the real degenerate side is these variable yields, which will end, and you can farm some really crazy strategies to look at these flares. And I mean, I've just earned 800,000 flares in just the past week by doing this, guys. So I will be talking about that later in the video. So make sure you stay until the end. Now, if you do need to enter a referral code, it has changed. Maybe it's up here. No, there it is. So you need to enter a referral code. I use the friends over here to get an extra $1,000 flares. So if you use this code, as I said before, I'll put it in the description, and you can start earning some flares as well. And if you do that, plus you swap, plus you hold some USX on the platform, you'll be fast ahead of many other people who haven't done these things. And I do think this one is going to age very, very well. Now, obviously, what is XLX? That's their token, their ecosystem token that aligns contribution and usage across the Solstice ecosystem. It is designed to support participation, incentives, and reward boosts within the entire protocol. And we'll be looking at some of those protocol examples very, very shortly. Now, how does it actually work? So as I said before, each milestone of TVL that is ticked off will associate an action taken by the protocol along the road to the burn events if we get to obviously 1 billion. Again, you can read all of this on the website or on the docs as well. But dilution, the factor that I really enjoy here is that the dilution tracks demand. So circulating supply only increases when the usage of the platform increases. That's very, very good, because the last thing you want to be doing is just seeing this thing increase and increase and increase and increase when there's not more users and whatnot coming to the platform. Now, it is not only time-based, it's unlocked at milestone-based, and at $1 billion of USD TVL, the first Solstice burn event will be triggered. So very curious to see if we get there before December 21st, which is the rumored launch of the SLX token. Now, we're going to dive into some other aspects of this platform. So the first one I'll talk about is obviously the yield. So when I showed you before, when you can come to the platform and you click these buttons for some multipliers. So the red or the orange above the line where it tells you what it is, supply USX to the eUSX liquidity pool. LP means liquidity pool. So if you've used Orca, if you've used Raydium before, if you've used obviously liquidity pools on other chains, this will be very straightforward for you. But I'll show you what it looks like on my side when I'm using Raydium very, very shortly. Now, just before that, don't forget, you do need to go back to the dashboard, you need to go to swap, and you need to actually have some eUSX. So you need to swap it from USDC or USDT, whichever one you have in your Phantom wallet from your exchanges. And then you need to lock it in the yield vault as well. And then this way, you can earn some flares, as I just said before. So for example, if I wanted to do half my money right now into eUSX, it would allow me to start earning some flares, as you can see on the bottom left here, and lock up and start earning. Now, the beautiful part is I can unlock my balance at any time. So as you can see, I've got $248 currently EUX on the platform. If I wanted to unlock that right now, I can unlock that, as you can see, for 251. Okay, last month yield vault returns were 4.1%, so that was really nice. Please note you're unlocking 1,000 US or more total. Your collateral will be available to withdraw within 7 days. Unlocking more USX during this time will restart the 7-day timer, so do be aware of that as well. And then you can click over on the side and you can have withdraw over on the side as well. So there you go. That's how you actually go in there to lock, obviously, your US DC or your USX as well. So I could lock this into eUSX and earn 2.9% yield on that as well. But I've been using my USX for some of these other opportunities. Those opportunities being supplying it to a liquidity pool. Now, again, please do some other research. Go watch some other videos about liquidity pools because they are risky and there are certain risk factors. Now, this being a stable coin would assume that this is obviously on the lower volatility side and obviously the lower risk side. But as always, there is obviously risk with any liquidity pool out there of being depegged or impermanent loss and all these sorts of things. But if you have a look here, I'm currently within the range. So price is actually just inside the range of my USX and USDC liquidity pool. I've only got a very small portion of the amount of money in there. I've got $209. I'll try and zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. And as you can see, I'm pending a very small amount of yield every single week. But the APY for this pool is only 0.03%. Not a lot, but I'm earning the flares. And my goal is to earn more flares and therefore have more of the percentage of the flare supply to unlock a larger airdrop when the SLX token does eventually launch. Now, again, I've seen people with $5,000 in this liquidity pool farming way more volume and earning more fees rather than, I mean, they would earn a lot of flares from that as well. But it just depends on how comfortable you are, how much money you want to spend in this ecosystem to earn the flares and to obviously harvest some yield. Now, you can harvest this at any time. Like before, you just harvest this and it'll connect to your Phantom wallet, as you can see in the top right-hand side, and you'll be able to unlock some of this yield. Now, there are, as I said before, more risky parts of this. Now, if you come back to Solstice, go to the earned flares on the other side over here. You can scroll all the way to the bottom, and these are the juicy multipliers. Now, these ones are, they come with a word of caution, okay? So these will expire. As you can see here, eUSX Solstice with the YTX exponent. So this is just a collaboration within their ecosystem. Basically, it will expire on 11th of March 2026. So ideally, the token SLX does launch before that. But as you can see, this is obviously trending to zero because the value of it is going to zero. So why does it actually mean, and what does this actually mean? So basically, normal yield on chain or and a liquidity pool will always be able to provide you with opportunity because they're earning revenue, they're earning fees, or the liquidity is trading within the zone or the range of the liquidity that you're adding to that liquidity pool. In this case, the yield for the YTEUSX will eventually expire, and it does expire as it shows you here on March 11, 2026. So again, always do your own research, guys. It is extremely risky what I'm doing. But as you can see, I've earned, I think I put it in about 500 bucks. Where does it say? Yeah, I've got 468 USX in there, which I've returned a loss of $37, but it has resulted in me earning over 1 million flares, and that's with a 15x multiplier, guys. So as you can see, I'm currently earning 120,000 flare points every single day, and this is the cheat code that I'm currently using to farm the flares very aggressively, and it's seen me go from absolutely low on the leaderboards all the way to the top 1% currently. As you can see here, top 1% with 1.1 million flares. Now, the last topic I want to talk about is obviously Zeet. So if you're on Abstract or if you're keen in the InfoFi ecosystem, jump onto Zeet, guys. I'll drop a referral for it down below. Very simple, but you can start talking about some of these protocols on Twitter and start earning some ZEETs on here, which will be given 1% of the entire supply to people who are yapping about it on Twitter. Again, a no-brainer for me. I love talking about the things that I'm doing. So naturally, I'm actually 12th on this leaderboard. Hopefully, I want to push into the top 10, maybe top 5 people by the end of this. But obviously, we don't know when this leaderboard will end. So the tournament, as you can see, is just by pretty much just talking organically about it on Twitter. You can tick off some tasks over on the side to obviously earn some bonuses. As you can see here, I've earned 12 bonus yeets from doing some completed. So following people, connecting my Solana wallet, etc., etc. That's how you can do it over on the side on ZEET. But the best part about this is that there have been evaluations around how much each creator will get. And top 100 people who are on the ZEET leaderboard will get exposure to 1% of the supply. So here are some moon maths for you. Again, don't hold it to me, guys. Shout out to Alyssa, a great creator on X who worked this out about a month ago. But if it is a 1 billion supply, that means that fully dilated valuation of dollars would be 1%. Sorry, excuse me. 1% obviously would equal 250,000 distributed between the top 100 creators, and that would equal about a 2,500 airdrop. Now, just a reminder, this is all speculation, this is all hype, but as I said at the start of the video, I'm hoping for a 4 to 5 figure airdrop. So if I can earn about 4 figures from the tweeting side of it and the ZEET side of it, I wonder how much I can earn from being in the top 1% of the flares earned on the platform as well. Hopefully more than 5 figures later this year. Again, there's some moon maths there. If it comes out with $500 million of fully diluted valuation, then we could be walking away with $50,000. Again, this is equally distributed across the top 100 Zeters on the platform. That would be crazy. But again, I've seen crazier things happen in crypto. So if you have any questions, guys, let me know down below. More than happy to help you out with this Solstice. But GTG has been talking about this for many months now, and we've been farming many of these good opportunities across the crypto space. And I'll be dropping more videos in the near future about a range of different opportunities of things that I'm currently doing right now in the crypto space, why the market chops around and it isn't as favorable to be trading on chain. If you enjoy this one, drop a sub, drop a like, and I will, as always, see you in the next one.